Hi Zoe, hi YouTube friends. Right, another journal update for you. So we left off, I did up to Friday the 15th, so we're starting at Saturday the 16th. So this is going to be just over a week. I'm catching up for you here. On the Saturday, Jared took us to Frankie and Benny's for breakfast, and we had pancakes because the next day I'm going to Venice. So Jared wanted like a nice sort of like little send-off, little family breakfast type thing. So I've just you're quite not in shot there. Hold on, I'll lift you up. Oh, technical. So just pop that there with some pictures of some pancakes. Then on Sunday, the 17th, I flew out to Venice. Okay, so Anita and I, that's my mother-in-law, got up really early. My mother-in-law is so funny. She makes me laugh every time we go away somewhere. She's living on a different planet, I think. From eating plastic fruit in reception in Rome, to in Prague carrying a hard-boiled egg around with her all day, forgetting about it, and it exploded all over everything in her handbag. She's always got some sort of funny thing going on. Well, she didn't let me down this holiday either. So we're at the airport early in the morning. I've taken like a granola bar with me, or a couple of granola bars, because airports, as you know, are very pricey. We go get our cup of tea, we sit down, I get out my granola bar, Anita gets out her family size pork pie. Yes, pork pie. I'm like, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. Why are we eating a pork pie? She's like, oh, I just fancied it. So alright then. So she puts it in her handbag. She has a bit off of it, because obviously it's a family-sized pork pie, so, you know, she has a chunk of it and some tea. And she buys a bottle of water, and when we get on the plane, she discovers she hasn't done the water up very well in her handbag, so now she has a rather large, soggy pork pie and a soggy handbag. But no problem, she eats it anyway. So she just bemuses me, absolutely bemuses me. The trip all went smoothly. Flight was okay. Found our transfers all right. I've stuck in this little thing here. This was just from our little transfer coach. Very, very easily if you ever do Venice. They're literally outside the arrivals door. And I think it works out about £14 return. And takes you straight into like Venice bus stop. Very, very easy. And so we did that to get there. Oh, I forgot to say, just before I left, I got a happy mail from Ali, lovely Ali, Dingley Definication. So I've just popped her like little note in here, which I will show you. But I'm going to do a separate happy mail video for her. When we arrived, it was sunny. The sun. Lush. And then I've put this little map in so I can sort of guide you around. I've got a bigger map as well for when I need to show you other bits. Our little hotel was here. The little bus station was here. So you just cross a little bridge and then just walk along the water, and it was about 10-minute walk. Very, very easy. I totally recommend staying this side of Venice, because my mother-in-law, she wanted to stay this side where San Marco is, because we wanted to go visit San Marco, so she thought it would be ideal to stay in the vicinity. Don't do it. This is so expensive and a big tourist trap, so it is better to just stay out, and you can catch the vaporettos all over the place, or you can walk. I mean, everything is walkable, as long as you're fit and able to walk. My mother-in-law is 70, well, nearly, and she does walk because she walks with her dogs, and she managed it. We didn't take a fast pace, and we had to rest a lot, but if she can do it, you can do it. You can walk everywhere. And it's beautiful to walk, because obviously if you're on public transport, then you're missing all the pretty sights, aren't you? I always sound like a travel agent. Right, so we got on our coach and we arrived at our hotel, which was the Hotel Continental. And I've kept like the little roomy thing here, and that has another map inside it. Never have enough maps, can you? When we got there, we were allowed to check in straight away, which was nice, because we got there about 11 o'clock and usually can't check in till about 3. So we went and had a explore and found a cup of tea, because you got to, when you're British, you got to find a cup of tea. So this is my tea bag, well, a little paper thing, my first tea bag, first tea in Venice, which is yellow label tea. It was alright. I had it without milk because I forgot to ask for milk, and yeah, I didn't realise that you got to ask for milk straight away, but that makes sense. So when you're ordering your tea, it's tè con latte in Italy, but if you say tè con leche, which is Spanish, they still understand what you're on about. So and then these are the little sugar sachets here, and you're gonna get shadow. I just thought they were kind of cute because they've got like all the little expressions and the Italian for what the expressions were, like a little emojis. So that's come back with me. Tea and coffee, very small over there, not like our lovely size big takeaway cups. They come in little thimbles of so you get a thimble of tea and a thimble of coffee, so be warned, you'll need about 20 of them to get a normal size cup. I was thinking if they come over to England or to America, they're going to be like overwhelmed by the size of coffee you get here. Because I wasn't ordering espresso, so don't drink espresso. I was ordering Americano, so it should come as a normal size. No, it still came in like an espresso size. So I'm moaning. You can tell I'm English, can't you? I'm moaning about the tea. So we had a cup of tea and a little break, and we had something to eat. We had some pasta, which was all right. It was not fantastic, but it was all right. And we did a lot of exploring. We went on a big sort of like walk, and we actually managed to walk all the way to the Rialto Bridge by accident, which was quite far. I'll just show you on my little map. So we're here, and the Rialto Bridge is over here. So we managed to walk all the way around here. Now this is not a straight walk. You can't walk straight in Venice because of all the water and like the bridges. So you sort of like zigzag up and down like this type business. So we'd managed to walk quite far, which was not great on the first day for my mother-in-law. It was a bit of a killer. My mother-in-law had her first ice cream, or not ice cream, it's I want to say gelato, but that's not it. Gelato? Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but gelato sounds like razors to me. That's Gillette's, isn't it? But something along those lines, you know what I mean. So she had her first one of those. Did you know, fact, actually better for you than ice cream, because it has less fat content, so you can fill your boots with that. There's me by the Rialto Bridge as well. In the evening I had pizza, because, you know, when in Italy, let's have pasta and pizza. So I had a freshly made pizza, and I just had the tuna and onion, which was really, really tasty. And this is just the sticker from my water, because it's fodder. So that was our first night, and this is the Rialto Bridge here as well. This little restaurant that we ate at was a waterside one, and it was lovely. It was really, really cute. Had like these little wooden benches, sort of reminded me of the Christmas markets, really, how it was done out, but wooden benches with like a canopy over with heaters in, so because it's not that warm at night time at this time of year, so it was nice to have the little heaters. Right, then Monday the 18th, It was, oh, you can't see, I can't fit everything in here. Me tripod on a box is not working. Okay, so another sunny day. We had breakfast at the hotel and we made our way to the Rialto Bridge. But this time we walked through the middle part. And from the bridge we took the Vaporetto to San Marco. So I'll show you the middle part on the big map. Oh, I'm organised here, aren't I? Is it all going to fit in? Is the next question. Right, so yeah, our hotel over here, and this is the middle part, and then the Rialto Bridge. This is a big map. Can't see it all, can you? Just trying to find. Oh, there's the Rio. Right, there's the Rialto Bridge there, and our hotel was there. So we walked all through here. Pretty much like that as well, sort of all over the shop we went, because we didn't bother with. Some people had sat nav on their phones. We just took a map and went for it, but we got through. I mean, we made it through, and there's lots of interesting stuff here, like historic buildings, beautiful roads, little cafes, little boutique shops, all sorts of. I love the middle part. It's very, very interesting. It's quiet as well, and Venice is so clean. I was thinking they got a lot of small dogs there, because you wouldn't have big ones, would you? Oh, loads of Dachshunds. I was in my element, and I was thinking it's ever so clean for having lots of little dogs. So they obviously pick up after themselves. Very, very good. Very impressed with that, and no rubbish anywhere as well. So yeah, we walked all the way through there, and then we got the Vaporetto from there all the way down here. This is kind of technical. All the way around here to San Marco, which is here. The Vaporettos are $7.50 for a journey, so that's not return, just a journey. You can get off at any stop you want, so you could do like the whole like water area for $7.50. So it's not too bad. It saved our legs a bit because there was a lot of walking. And when we got to San Marco, we had time before we went, because we pre-booked our tickets to this. That is a tip. Do skip the line. My mother-in-law just books it on her phone like the day before, because we didn't book anything before we went, because we didn't know what the weather was going to do and what we'd want to do on each day. So we just booked it the night before for the places that we saw on your phone. Skip the line. It's only €2 to go in it anyway, so you know it's cheap as chips. But well worth doing. The queue when we got there, because it was a sunny day, was miles and miles and miles. But the queue for the skip the line, there wasn't anybody. We just walked in. They just scanned my mother-in-law's phone, and there you go. So big tip there. Do skip the line. So before, we had our tickets booked for about 2 o'clock, and we were early, so we thought we'll go find some lunch. As I said, in the San Marco area, it's like a tourist trap, so there wasn't really any restaurants, well, like cafes, because it's lunchtime. We wanted a cafe, not a restaurant. There was like bakeries, so you could get a sandwich, but my mother-in-law needs to sit down and rest properly, so we were hunting around, and we were looking at this menu outside the restaurant, and the man came out and goes, "Oh, come in," and my mother-in-law said, "Oh, do you do bruschetta?" And he was like, "Yeah." So we went in, and they sat us down. Before we've even blinked, they've opened a bottle of water. Ooh, dangerous territory here. And put a basket of bread on the table, and you're thinking, right, okay, how much can I charge you for this then? Didn't touch the bread. Bottle of water was already open, so we knew we were going to have to pay for that. And we just ordered the bruschetta, which they were horrified at, because they wanted you to order much, much more than that. So we had our, effectively, tomatoes on toast and water, and it came to €15 each. So, yeah, it's pricey down that end. Take sandwiches. Or take a lot of money if you want to eat out. But yeah, I was listening to the English couple next to us as well, and they'd eaten some of the bread. They got charged. Don't do it. Oh dear. But there you go. Give you all the tips for Venice here. So, after we'd had our tomatoes on toast, we went and had a look around San Marco, which is a beautiful cathedral, I suppose. It's not that big. I've been in quite a lot of cathedrals. I was thinking it was going to, Church Cathedral, Baskerville, something like that. I was thinking it's going to be bigger, but it was nice. It was like, yeah, like a church. It's I follow Anita around. I do like looking at pretty things and artwork and stuff like that, but that is more her cup of tea, and it was her big birthday, so I'm just following her around looking at pretty things. Then after we'd had a look at San Marco, we thought we'd have a little explore of that area and have a look at the shops in that area. Oh, and this is just our Vaporetto tickets here. I've popped those in. We were wandering around, just looking at things, going down this street, having a look at the gondolas. Sorry, brain doesn't work today. All the words are not connecting properly. So if I say any of these words, we've been calling them gorgonzolas, which is cheese. So yeah, no, don't worry. We say the wrong things all the time. Looking at the gondolas, looking at the streets, and I said, oh, there's a Vaporetta stop down there. Should we go and have a look which one that is so we can see where we are on the map? We'd only walked back to the Rialto Bridge. I have no idea how we did that. But I suppose looking at the map, let me just show you. We were in San Marco and the Rialto Bridge is there. I suppose, yes, that is a short hop. But like when we did it by water, we did this. But we were just sort of wandering, and then we were like, oh, we're at the Rialto Bridge. So we thought, oh, well, we've walked halfway home. We might as well just carry on. So from there, we decided to just walk back through the middle part again. And we got lost. But luckily, there was we found a little cafe in a square. And so we had a little break and a cuppa there, and we charged our batteries and let my mother-in-law have a rest with her hip and her leg. And lovely waiter showed us where we were on the map so that we could find our way home. I just put this little bit in here because there's so many cat masks. And when we got back to the hotel room, we decided to Google what the cat masks are about, because there's loads of masks there, obviously, in Venice. But the cat mask in particular, we wanted to see what was about. And here you go, little story. A long time ago, I haven't got a date for you, homosexuality was illegal. But if you wore a mask, you were playing a part. You were being an actor. So their loophole was to wear these cat masks and then they were just obviously pretending, or not, to be homosexual, which was fine. So it's how they got around it. So if you buy a cat mask in Venice, be warned, you are sending out a message. But yeah, interesting fact, eh? And then when we were heading back to the hotel, there was like a macaroon shop, and I've never had a macaroon. Can you believe that? So I thought, well, let's do this. Let's get some macaroons. So I got some of those so that when we got back to the hotel room, we could have a little rest and eat me macaroons. They are sickly, although probably the flavours I picked were a great choice for being sickly. One was white chocolate and I think the other one was like creme. So yeah, sickly ones. This is just the packaging of my mother-in-law's coffee sweets that she bought when we were exploring. So I've popped those in, and I just had this little postcard here, which I've popped in as well. Oh, and this picture up here, to lift you up, sorry. I just thought it was really good because it's a foot with a car. I think Sonia sent me this one. I just thought because we were walking absolutely everywhere, so our feet were the public transport. Right, then in the evening, we went back to our little restaurant by the waterfront because we really liked that one. And had my mother-in-law on the first night and the second night had the seafood pasta. And I tried the ravioli, and we both had panna cotta for pudding. So that was a nice meal. Right, Tuesday. It was raining really hard. So we had breakfast and took the Vaporetto all the way to San Marco, because the night before we booked to go to the Dolgi's Palace. The artwork in there is amazing, and I've put some of the pictures up on Facebook. There was also the Maharaja's jewels there, which are there for I think only 6 weeks, so we were lucky to see them. Very sparkly, lots of diamonds. Nice to look at. I'm not very jewellery orientated, so it was pretty and sparkly. Got told off. You're not allowed to take pictures of the jewels, obviously, but they had this really good display, like a twinkling display, and I thought that'd be alright. Took a picture, got told off, but they didn't make me delete it or anything, so being naughty. I didn't take any pictures of the diamonds. And then we went round, there was like the prison bit, and then we went to the armoury bit. The armoury bit was interesting, prison bit not so. Once you've seen one cell, then you've seen all the cells really. My mother-in-law pointed out that if this was in England, because they just had the cells just empty, if it was in England and you were going around somewhere like that, they usually stick like a dummy in it and a fake rat and some straws so you could see what the living conditions would be like. So, oh my goodness. As I said, the armoury was interesting. It's big, and there was a lot of walking involved and a lot of steps again from my mother-in-law. So by the time we got to the broken bowls, I think she'd had enough because I could see that she was uncomfortable. So I just said to her, turned to her because I could tell what she's thinking, and go, so we've seen the pretty pictures now. We can't be doing with the broken bowls then. And she was like, no, we can't be doing with the broken bowls. So we just left then. But it was good. Have a look round. So we got the Vaporetto all the way back to our hotel. Went and found some lunch and had a wander around the shops. And then went back to the hotel for a little bit of a rest, so my mother-in-law could catch up. In the evening we found a different restaurant, and it had like a meal deal thing on there, and this is the little restaurant here we went into. So they had like a meal deal, sort of, I think it was €15, and you could have a pasta to start and then like a main and a side. So I had the lasagna to start, just comes as like a little square of lasagna, really lovely. And then I had the calamari and chips, but it wasn't chips, but that's the closest thing I could say to it. It's more like crisps, fat crisps. So English fat crisps. Or chips in America. This is going to get confusing, isn't it? Okay, English crisps, fat with potato in. Obviously, because I made a potato. That sounds stupid. But they were lovely, really, really lovely. Calamari, right, usually we get it in rings like that. It did have rings like that, this one. But there was tentacles too. But, I sucked it up, princess, and just ate the tentacles as well. Why not? Usually that would have put quite a lot of English people off. But I'm in for it. Let's give it a go. It tasted all right. So, so that was our dinner. And then Wednesday the 20th, we got up and it was sunny again. Yay, we love the sun. So we took the Vaporetto to Murano, which is where all the lovely glass comes from. But not before I had chocolate cake and lemon cake for breakfast. Yeah, I know that sounds weird, but I've been eyeing up this every morning when we went down for breakfast. There was this chocolate cake and like what looked like a sponge cake there as well. which turned out to be lemon drizzle. But I was having sensible things, like egg on toast and whatnot. But that was our last breakfast there because the Thursday morning we were leaving before breakfast. So I thought, stuff it, let's have chocolate cake and lemon cake for breakfast. Oh, they were gorgeous, really, really gorgeous. So we spent the day looking around Murano, and I've cut the little map out of Murano, which is an island off of Venice Island. Yeah, it's lovely. I mean, they've got everything from affordable glassware to very high-end glassware, like full-size horse statues made of glass. It's a lovely, lovely, quiet little island. We went and just had a good walk around all of it, even saw like where the residents live and, all their little speedboats, and it's pretty. Really, really pretty. Got little churches on there. It's just, I really liked it there. Especially as it was sunny. That helps, doesn't it? So I spent all day there. I actually bought myself something, which wasn't really going to happen because it's quite pricey. And although I took €275 for the 3.5 days, transport and food basically sucked all that up. I got a few little bits to send out to people. Watch out for the post, people. But actual things, like that was fodder more. Actual things, it was pricey. So, and I was treating my mother-in-law more. So, but I did get myself something, and I got myself this little, like, bag charm. And this is Murano glass. I just thought it was really, really lovely. And with autumn coming up, a little squirrel and a little nuts and mushroom and whatnot, I just thought, oh, it's very, very autumny. So I did treat myself to that one. And then we came back. Oh, try and move the book over. And I just stuck in two of the little, this is the little shop I bought my my little bag charm in. This is the restaurant that we went to in the evening, and we had one of their meal deal ones, which consisted of seafood pasta, and then chicken and chips effectively, but done not like chicken and chips at home. And that was nice. That one was only €11. Cheaper, cheap. And then I got some of these little hand-painted cards. And I've kept this one for myself. And the rest have gone out places. Not to spoil anything. This one I liked because this was, when we were coming back from Murano, this was the view that we went past. So I did just keep this one for myself. And then Thursday we flew home. Oh my goodness, what is it with self-flushing loos? I seem to be having issues with them at the moment. I always seem to go in the one that wants to flush all the time. So the one at the airport, how I managed to pick it, I got the one that, like I said just before I went away, the one that is like a bidet that we sit down and it just flushes by itself. God, I hate them. I always pick the wrong one. And then when I got home, I just watched some TV and had a proper size cup of tea, and Jay got us a takeaway so that I didn't have to cook. Just put it's nice to be home with my Jared, and obviously little boy. Then Friday I did our online Tesco shop, lots of washing, rested, and then went to work. Saturday, Jared popped out and got us some croissants for breakfast. We went over to Tristan's, which is my brother-in-law, so Jared could fix his loo for him. We had Burger King for lunch, and then I went to work. And Sunday I wasn't feeling great, so I rested. I had this dizzy thing, sort of where the floor's coming up. I don't know if it's something to do with the flight or... Sorry about that, battery died. Right, so this will connect together, get the Jared to do the miracles he does by connecting two videos together. Anyway, waffling on. Yeah, I've been feeling dizzy, sort of like the floor keeps feeling like it's coming up at me, so it might be something to do with the aeroplane, I don't know. Anyway, so that was the end of that week, and very well, cleverly, that's the end of the book as well. So I've got this pocket here with just cards and nice things that I want to keep in here to remember what's happened through the year. So cards from Zoe and St. Tracy made, and card from Karen, and birthday cards and things that I've made and had through the year. So I've popped that all in that pocket there. Lovely stickers here are from Karen, so I've popped them on here just to decorate that. And that is that book done. So look how fat this monster is. Look at that one. So this is... so I started that, it nearly went a year. I started that, oh no, it did go a year, October. So yeah, nearly at the end of September. Wow, that's what a year looks like. So yeah, how lovely is that? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. If you've liked, please press like. Please subscribe and feel free to comment. I love answering all your comments, and hope everybody has a lovely day. Take care everyone, bye.